In the Times?
Well, in the UK at the moment there are 13 municipal waste incinerators of similar scale to the one proposed for Poolbeg currently under development. So that deals with the issue with the UK. The Minister said there that this facility will define waste policy. This facility has been defined by waste policy, and a waste policy that has been in place for quite a few years now, which prioritises reduction of waste and recycling and moves us away from our dependence on landfill by providing for energy recovery from a certain fraction of waste.
Where's the incentive?
In Europe move in this direction.
Where is the incentive to recycle in an incinerator?
Every single capital city across Europe that has high levels of recycling has incineration. The incineration is being introduced as part of our waste policy to move us from landfill. From the 1st of January of this year, we are now liable for landfill charges because we're landfilling. In 2008, the figures are wrong there, 735,000 tonnes of waste from Dublin went into landfills, and they're the most recent figures that we have. The only guaranteed liability we know of that's on the taxpayer started 14 days ago, 15 days tomorrow, 16 days the next day, and when this plant opens, that liability falls away from the taxpayer.
Is it not hugely oversized for our needs?
No, this facility has been sized and approved by An Bord Pleanála, the Environmental Protection Agency, Commission for Energy Regulation, signed off by the government at the time, signed off by the Minister at the time. The contract was approved by the NDFA and Dublin City Council then went to the market. Covalsa came forward with 350 million to invest in the Irish economy and in the energy and waste sector based on the sizing. The sizing is based on the waste predictions. The waste arisings are verified by the Environmental Protection Agency. This facility is 600,000 tonnes to service a population of 1.2 million. Just up the road.
Based on what figures? From what time?
Based on the ESRI and EPA
From
figures.
what, 3 years ago?
Based on...
Before the economic downturn, no?
No, the facility is sized for 20 years. So you take a long-term view. You look at the ESRI figures. Up the road in the northeast, there's a facility that is a third the size of this for a third of the size of the population. It's the same size, in effect, but it's not the subject of this debate.
I want to bring Maurice Bryan in on this. Do you accept the basic notion that we need incineration at all?
I think incineration has a place in waste management, but I think in this case it is grossly overstated. This incinerator, I believe, and we believe, was reverse engineered. The decision was made to build a big incinerator in Dublin, and ever since, and this was in 1997, ever since, people have been scrabbling to try and justify this decision.
But the best experts have been involved in this. Everybody's looked at the figures pretty carefully on this.
Yes.
Can they all have got it wrong?
A recent study by consultants, independent consultants, said that this is twice the size it can possibly be needed to be. That the waste, the incineratable waste, and remember that a lot of waste can't be burnt. If it's not burned, it doesn't make energy. And because we are recycling so much, we are reducing.
So what size plant is required for Dublin, in your view?
Well, I have been told by the consultants that the maximum size they can foresee in the future is a very outside maximum of 300,000 tonnes, and that at present 200,000 tonnes would be more than adequate. But this is taking into consideration all the waste arising in Dublin, and the Panda judgment says quite clearly that the waste collected by independent operators belongs to those operators. They can dispose of it as they will. They will probably bring it to the Inverberg plant in...
Well, you mentioned the Panda judgment. I want to bring a little bit back in on that, because it was stated in the report, mentioned also by John Gormley there, that Mr. Justice McKechnie in the High Court raised a serious question over what he called the massaging of figures. Now, who was massaging the figures?
Well, OPS certainly were not massaging the figures, and I want to categorically refute that. In producing a final report, you produce drafts and you edit and you consult with your client to make sure you get the right result. That is the way we produce reports. That you get a report that the figures can stand up, the Environmental Protection Agency can approve, the EPA can approve, and all of the statutory bodies can approve. So
is it possible that the council or an individual within the council massaged, as it's put, the figures?
No, we stand over all of the reports. We would never change facts, and we would never change your opinion. We might reword, we might delete, we might sharpen up the text to edit it. We would never change facts, and we never change opinion. We make our money on our reputation to be able to provide facts and to provide opinion.
So Mr. Justice McKechnie has got it completely wrong, has he?
Absolutely, and I think the entire judgment is wrong. We should not have a free-for-all in the waste market. We should have a position whereby the local authority can prioritise where the
Sure,
waste
but
goes
sorry,
up to
he got it wrong on the
Yes.
massaging. You're saying
Yes.
that there was no massaging.
He referenced a couple of consultants there. I'm speaking on behalf of RPS.
Yes.
That's
the one he mentioned.
Yes, no, he mentioned more than RPS. And I'm speaking on behalf of RPS. We did not massage figures.
And no figures that you gave
No.
to the council were massaged
Absolutely
by
not.
anybody.
Absolutely not. And I categorically refute that.
Is there not a real danger that we're going to get stuck here with something that's oversized and we end up paying a penalty? Morris says all we need is 300,000 tonnes a year. If that happens, that's 20,000 under the limit, that's going to cost $2 million a year.